In the last lecture, we have created two new screens, planner screen and home screen. In this lecture, we'll continue with the navigation. So what I mean by the navigation, I already showed you this in our drawing in the previous one, that we will have a home screen and a planner screen, and by navigation I mean that I can click on the home, I will go to home, and I will click on the planner, I will go to the planner screen, and I will have some component that will keep the track on which page I'm currently on, and it will help me, or it will provide me some API that I can navigate between the screens. For this reason, for this purpose, we'll be using a React navigation package. Okay, so open your browsers and you can search here for a React navigation. So React native navigation. Okay, and we'll go with this package here, reactnavigation.org. You can click here. There is a plenty of examples. Everything is well explained here. So you can click here on the documents and you can, just navigate around. You can see here a lot of examples, how to install this, what to do, the examples, how it will look like, and so on. Okay. So you can scroll here, what you need. You can go through some basic course of this, here how to move between the screens, and everything is well explained. But I will jump straight to the on the ship and we will implement the already completed solution, and then we'll explain it. Okay, guys, so it will not be that hard. Don't worry. We'll go with the stack navigator. What I will mean by the stack navigator is that we'll have here. We'll have two screens so far, home screen and a planner screen, and a stack navigator is simply structurally keeping the track on which screen I'm currently on. So I will initialize in my stack navigator two screens, home screen and the planner screen, and I will say my home screen will be my root, initial root. Okay, so I will have a home screen as my initial one. So I will have my home screen. I will call it here home. And if I want to navigate, I will click here preview. I will click here planner button. I will render out planner screen. So my planner screen will be pushed on the top of the stack. So here will be planner now. And what's on the top of the stack is currently displayed in your application, okay, in your simulator. So when the planner screen is on top of the stack, planner screen is displayed. If the home screen is on top of the stack, then the home screen is displayed. Okay, so when I want to navigate to the next screen, I will click here again on the home. This will render out home. It will push on the top of the stack, home. If I will go to the planner again, I will click the planner. I will push on the top of the stack planner. If I want to go back one step down, then I will pop up what's on the top, and I will go to the previous one. So I will pop up this, and I will go back to the home. So my home will be displayed on the screen now. Okay. If I want to go to again back, I will pop out here this screen. So this will pop out from the stack. I will go back here. I'm on a planner currently. If I would go back to home, I will pop out this, and I will go back to home, and I have only one screen on the stack here, so I cannot go back any longer, and that's my screen that's currently displayed. Okay, so that's basically the instructions we'll be using: push, pop, and navigate. I will be explaining them as we'll be coding. Okay, but first thing, it's very painful thing. We need to install a package, and I need to show you how to initialize this navigator. It's not that simple. In usual cases, it's not very easy to remember. You need to follow the documentation usually. Now you will be following me. So go back to your browser, and let's see here getting started, and we need to install a couple of packages. We need to install React Navigation Native. Okay, so let's copy this. Go to your terminal, make sure you are in your folder here. So if your server is running here currently, Expo is running, you can go to the new tab, so you can just stay here and click Command T or Control T, and it will open the new tab here, and you can copy this here, and you can install the React Navigation Native. Get back here, and also we need to install one more thing. It's not here, it's a stack navigation. Okay, I'm looking for it now. I will just simply install it. Okay, guys, so go to terminal. Paste is here, React Navigation /native, but it will install here now. We'll remove this part here, native, and it will write here native-stack. Okay, for sure you can find it in the documentation. I will be not looking for it now. You can search it after the lecture. Okay, I'll clear the screen out. We have both of these packages. We'll go to our coding editors, and quickly we'll create here a new folder in a root folder. And let's call it navigation. navigation, and in the navigation, we will create a new file, and we will call it index.tsx. Okay, and now just some drilling now here. We will be not really. You don't need to remember everything by your heart. So just let's write, and then we'll explain it. Okay, guys. So first, we need to create here we need to import here a couple of things. We need to import here, create native stack navigator. So create native stack navigator from here. Okay, then import navigation container. If you want to autocomplete, just press tab, and it will also provide the import path. Just make sure that they are same as I am writing here. Then we'll import here our two screens. Okay, we'll import here home screen and workout planner screen. So import here home screen and import here planner screen. You can see here now we are specifying the // because we need to go outside of the current folder. We are in a navigation folder in an index.tsx. // means we are going outside of this folder and we are going to the screens folder and we are importing these two things, home screen and planner screen. Okay, guys, so we have a home screen and a planner screen, and now we need to create here a component. So export default here, function, navigation. Okay, and we need to provide here the structure called navigation container we have imported here. So that's very important. You need to wrap everything in a navigation container. Okay, so press tab here and opening and closing of the component. In your navigation container, you will choose your strategy, how you would like to keep track of your screens. As I mentioned, we'll be keeping them in the stack, as I showed here. So we'll be using the stack navigator. For the stack navigator, we need to create a stack navigator. So we'll create here const stack. All right, and we'll use here this function we have imported here, create native stack navigator. I will pass it here and I will call it because this is a function. Okay, and we have here now stack component we can use. Okay, so in the navigation container, we'll specify here stack, so opening bracket, and we'll write here stack dot navigator like this. Okay, this we need to close and open. Okay, like this, stack navigator. In a stack navigator, you have specify your two screens, what should be in the stack. So we want to have in a stack our home screen and workout our planner screen. Okay, so we'll write here two new components. Opening bracket, stack dot screen. Again, just open and close like this. And copy it and paste it under. So you have this structure here, what you're seeing now. Okay, so in a stack screen, actually stack screens can be self-closing because we don't need to provide anything inside. So the stack screen can just look like this. Just close it like simply. It's much easier to write this way. Okay. Okay, stack screen is complaining because there are some props we need to specify. We need to specify here a name and a component. So property name is missing, you can see here. Okay, so you need to identify each screen by the name. So later you can access the screen by the name. Okay, name is completely up to you, but since this will be our home screen, the first one we'll call this home. Okay? And the second screen, which will be our planner screen, we'll call planner. So let's provide your name of the planner. Like this. It will still complain because you're still missing one required property, and this will be the component property children is missing. Okay, property children is missing, or you can specify it also as a component. Okay, so in your stack screen here under the name, you will specify a component like this, and you will specify your component that will be your stack screen, which will be your home screen. So whatever is displayed in the home screen will be inside of your stack navigation, and it can be displayed. So get the home and simply paste it here. The second one component will be planner, and specify it here, planner screen. Okay, so that's how it looks like, guys. So we have this navigation container, and in the navigation container we have a type of the navigation, which is a stack navigation, and we have our two screens, home screen and the planner screen. What I can specify here in a stack navigator, we can specify what will be the initial screen displayed on your screens. So I can specify here initial root name, and it will specify the name of the screen which will be displayed initially when you will launch your application. Now in this case, I can go with the home, so I can specify here initial root name will be home. Okay, guys, all of this is nice, but we need to still provide the navigation into our root component app.tsx so it can be rendered out. Okay, so in app.tsx now we can go back here. We can go here and we can remove the planner screen from here in the home screen, because our screens will be now rendered out through the navigation. Now the navigation will be responsible to keep track of the screens and navigate between them. So simply just write here navigation. First let's import it. So let's write here import navigation from. We are going to the navigation folder. We want to import index.tsx file, so we'll go to the /navigation/index. Since the file is called index, we don't need to really specify it because it's imported automatically when the file is called index. So we can just specify here /navigation and specify the navigation component. Navigation like this. And please just remove the home screen. So we'll just keep here navigation. You have here some issues. So let's see what is the issue about. So let's scroll here. Okay, so navigation cannot be used as a JSX component. It's a return type void. It's a return type void. It's not a valid JSX element. So if you see something errors like this, it's basically you're specifying a navigation component, but you are not returning anything in this navigation component. Every component has to return something, as here. So when you will go back to our navigation, you will see here that it's nice that we are specifying all of this JSX here, but we are not returning it. So we need to provide here a new line, write here return, normal brackets like this, and just everything here, just copy, remove, and paste it inside of the return like this. I can select these parts that are not indented correctly, so I can select them, and let's press Tab key to indent them. Now when you will save it, everything will be working fine. Okay, so you can go back to app.tsx, no issues here. Navigation will be now rendering our navigation, our screens. So let's save it. Let's go back to our simulator. Okay, I'll cancel this, and you will see there is nothing on the screen. So that's another issue we have, and the issue is that navigation and the view component, they don't like each other. Okay, so you are specifying view like this, and the navigation inside of the view, it will not work that well. As you can see, we are not displaying anything. So what you need to do, just simply you can remove the view from here and view from here. You can just leave here empty brackets. So there is no view. This navigation is responsible for a view now. Okay, so let's save it. Simulator, and you can see here now we have here nice navigation. I am home screen. That's the initial screen we are displaying. Then you will go back to code here. You don't need to do these two components now. Then you will go back here and you will go to your navigation here. You will go to initial root name and you will change it for your planner. So we'll change it to the planner. We'll save it. I will go back here. We'll see after I will refresh, there will be I am planner screen. So that's a default screen we are displaying. Now we just need to navigate between them, but it will be handling in the next lecture. Okay, so just change it to the home back. So now we see the difference. As I mentioned, the navigation works on the stack. You can see this will be that how it will work. We'll be pushing the new screens on the top of the stack. Or we'll be popping them out from the stack when we want to navigate back. Okay. One more thing, guys. I was mentioning before that every screen has to have a view component. It's actually not true, but a view component is just simply a wrapper which is wrapping multiple of your components, and that you can provide some stylings to it, and it can group these stylings and it can provide them to the underlying components, or you can view it as a div element in HTML, simply some box that's holding all of the components together, and you can specify some width, some height to it, maybe some align to it, and all the elements inside of this element will be simply rendered out in it. So just to give you a hint of it, so when you have a view simply holds components together. So if you have some text here and you will specify here that you want to provide styles to the center, then the elements will be centered out, right? Will be in the center, or maybe on the right. So then you'll provide the styling to the view. All of the components will be on the right side. So you have a view, and inside of the view have texts, for example, text, and this is the end of the view. Okay, so like this. Okay, so just for you know, so as I was mentioning before, that it has to have a view component is not really true, but a view can provide some additional layout to your stylings, to your some additional components that are inside of the view. You can simply style them. All right, so I'll close this. We'll remove the view as we had before. We'll save it. That's a navigation. I know quite a long lecture. I promise the next lecture will be much shorter. We'll go in a smaller part, so I'll be explaining the smaller part of the code. But as with the navigation, it's not possible because we just need to simply implement the entire navigation architecture in order to get it working. All right, so thank you for watching this lecture, and I hope to see you in the next one. Cheers.